studio, Uncle Ken. I have the Executive Secretary of the Creative Arts Agency, Gideon Ayikwe. I also have Mr. Paul Ankra, Bilay. And joining us from the University of Ghana is the Head of Music Department and Senior Lecturer, Mr. Benjamin Amakye Boateng. Dr. Benjamin, sorry. Dr. Benjamin Amakye Boateng, also right here with us. Yes, so in April this year, the Central Regional Directorate of Education organized a senior high school competition at the Cape Coast Sports Stadium, with the Muzano College of Music taking the ultimate prize. And later in July, we had another one organized in the Ashanti region. And we're asking, can't we have a national music festival for senior high schools? Then it occurred to us we had some pop chain concerts, and that is why I brought here today Uncle Ken and Bilay to talk to us about music in the past. And then Dr. Amakye is also here. He is an educationist, so we have a 360 conversation. But there are the organizers of these two events also joining us on the show from the Central region and the Ashanti region. Let me give you a foretaste of something that happened during these two competitions. This is the Muzano College of Music. They won the prize for the Central region competition, which was held on, that's the third edition actually. This is Muzano College of Music. That's the Muzano College of Music there. But in the Ashanti region, there was also a performance by the Sewa Nyako Senior High School. Okay.
Banani a do a planke. You know you go be mad today. You go be mad today. If you see my baby, yeah, tell him that it'll be me love. Hey, gonna some white. My body, na my friend. And so super yes.
And that's the Sewa Nyako Senior High School performing during the Ashanti Regional Music Festival competition, which was held in July. And now on the phone line, we have Yvonne Dolores Frimpong. She is Media and Publicity Committee member of the Ashanti High School Music Fiesta 2025. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Kwame.
How are you doing, Yvonne?
I'm blessed.
Great. So today, finally, we're here talking about the competition for the senior high schools.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you organized yours. This was the maiden edition in July, right?
Kwame, let me fight with you. So you played Central Region's winner, and then you came and played Ashanti Region. You came and played. I can't even remember where they played.
Why did they not compete in the?
They did, but you played Central Region's first position performance.
Okay, that's not the thinking. That's not the thinking that went into selecting the voices. I don't know. I didn't even know that you were thinking that direction because production went online and found the sounds that were available. It wasn't even about who won what, basically.
That's just
But
by the way.
yes,
But
and you agree with me. The performance they put up, the Sewa Nyakun people, it was fantastic. It was trending on social media. So I don't think there's a big deal about that.
oh, no. But it's a competition anyway. You're talking about Central region. You're talking about Ashanti region. So who did well? And then you played their first position. And you keep and played. No.
I think the most important thing is we appreciating the work that these individuals have done and what you have done as well. So tell us,
Alright.
what went into this particular event? What was the inspiration?
Okay, so from what you even played, you see that there are musical talent in our senior high schools. And then it's something that over the years we have overlooked. We don't look at tapping into this talent. So what we did this year was to bring our children on board and let them showcase what they have when it comes to their musical talent. And that's what we saw. So we realized that education should be 360. It should be all around. It should not be only centered on just reading, and the other talents are overlooked. So we were looking at bringing this on board so that we get our children who are also musically talented on board. And we saw it. In fact, when you go on TikTok, when you go on all the other social media handles, you see how creative our children are when it comes to music. So that is just about it. We thought we had it and we wanted to be sure, and they brought it on board, and then we knew for sure that sure, there's something like that in our children that needs the attention for other people to also see and help where they can.
So this particular event was sanctioned by the Education Directorate, right?
Come again, please.
It was sanctioned by the Education Directorate, right?
Yes, please. Actually, it was planned. Everything was strictly by the Regional Education Directorate.
Wow. How did you fund it?
Yeah. Right, by benevolent people. Yeah, and then that's what I can see. I think that's what I can see. So we went out for sponsorship, and then the directorate also did its bit by I think it held the fort for us because it was more of the directorate doing it, and then other benevolent people and individuals who were in the region also came on board to help.
All right. Thank you very much, Yvonne, for your time this evening on Showbiz A-Z. Thank you. All right, so yes, heard Yvonne Dolores Frimpong there talking to us about what went into the organization of the Ashanti Regional Senior High School Music Festival, the Fiesta, they call it Fiesta, that was held on July 2nd, 2nd July this year. Let's talk to Alby. Alberta is also right on the line now. She represents the Central Region. She's the lead organizer, Central Region High School Music Festival. Alberta Aye is on now. Good afternoon, Alberta.
Good afternoon, Kwame.
How you doing?
I'm fine.
Okay, so sometime in April, you organized the third edition of the Senior High School Music Festival.
Yes, you are right.
Okay. Which body organized this festival?
Thank you, Kwame. Good afternoon to your wonderful listeners tuning to Joy FM this evening. I'm really honored to be here with you. It was the Ghana Education Service Central Regional Directorate that organized the program. And as you rightly said, that was the third edition of the program.
Okay. Third edition.
Yes, please.
Okay. So what was the inspiration behind putting together this event in the first place?
Thank you. In 2022, we had a new regional director, the person of Mr. Emmanuel Itsuma. So this idea was birthed by him. The whole Ghana Central region was the first region to start an SHS Music Festival. He strongly believes that music is not only educational, but also a powerful unifying force for our schools in the region. And he observed that most students' gatherings, like sports, quizzes, and debates, were often tense and overly competitive. So together with Madam Kate Annan Wilberforce, the former headmistress of Agri Memorial, they envisioned a more relaxed, culturally rich event that could bring passion to our schools without the competition that leads them into fighting and rivalry. So the aim was to bind our schools together, build relationships, and promote artistic expression. That was why he started the music festival.
Okay, let me ask you this question, the same question I posed to Yvonne. How did you get money to fund this project?
Thank you very much. So for the past 3 years, the program has been funded by Mamdev Ghana Limited. It's a private company. The company assists schools in the central region, giving them computers, other school accessories, putting up dormitories for the schools. So when we approached him of this initiative, he gladly came in. So he has been our sole headline sponsor of the festival, with support from CHAS, that is the Second Cycle Health Association, and then CODE, the Directors Association in the region.
Okay. All right. Alberta, thank you so much for your time. We'll get back to you some other time and then delve deeper into what you're doing for the region. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks, Howard.
Okay, so Alberta Aye there, and she is the organizer for the Central Regional Music Competition for the Senior High School. A very good cause. Now, let's get talking right here. This is Joy 99.7 FM, and we are looking at why Ghana needs a National Senior High School Music Festival. Let me start with Dr. Amakye. Doc, you've listened to Yvonne, listened to Alberta, and I know you also organized one on campus, yeah? Tell us about that.
Very good evening to listeners and everybody in the studio. We organized the High School Music Olympics. We called it Music Olympics because our disciplines were more anything musical. But for the first edition, it was the first edition.
Okay.
So we did just 4 events.
Okay. Which month was that?
In June.
In June. Okay.
In June. We did choral, choir singing, which is choral music. We did brass band. We did pop band. And then we did sight singing.
Okay.
So these were the 4.
As in sight reading.
Sight reading, yes. You pick a score and see if you can read it on the spur of the moment.
Wow.
Yes. We did that, and there were 5 schools that attended this particular event. We had students from Krobo Girls Senior High School from the Eastern region joining.
Okay.
We also have Ganata Secondary School, also in Dodoa.
Wow.
And then in Accra, we had Achimota School. We also had Kwabenya Senior High School.
Oh, so yours wasn't just Accra?
Not Accra.
5 schools?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
In fact, we sent letters across, but I think the timing didn't allow some of the schools to partake in it. And then we also had Accra Girls Senior High School joining this particular event.
Awesome. But let me go to Bilay. And when we talk about Senior High School Music Festival, during your days, did you have anything like that?
Okay, let me sort of just step back a little bit.
Okay.
Just lay some foundations as far as the topic we're talking about. I went to school in Cape Coast in Franspen.
Okay.
In 1973. Now, when I arrived in Form 1, there were already established school bands. And these school bands the school had instruments that the bands could play with. And these were usually gifted to the schools from past students and sometimes even from the church. So, and that you saw that structure in Francipim at the Saddle, St. Augustine's had it, even Holy Child.
Wow.
Holy Child had a school band. Agri Memorial got almost all the schools in Cape Coast had school bands. As a result of that basic infrastructure being there, it allowed students who had an interest in music to actually pursue whatever interest they had. So some were keyboardists, some were bass guitarists, some were drummers, some were doing the percussions. And we used that love of music to be able to service some of the school's needs itself, which was entertainment nights, which we called records nights back in the day. And the bands would actually play for the rest of the school.
Wow.
So when I actually learned to play the bass guitar in Form 2.
Okay.
By the time I was in Form 4, I was pretty seasoned. At that time, we had about 5 school bands in Infanspim alone. 5.
In one school?
In one school. That created some competition, entertainment for the school. And even some of the school bands actually went to other schools to entertain them on their records nights. So you'd find, for example, Majestic Breezemen, which was one of the big bands in the day, would go and play at Wesley Girls, their entertainment night, and then also sometimes even a Holy Child. So the whole concept of competition amongst what I call student musicians has always been there back in the day. And that then also got to a level where now it went national. When I say national, I'm talking about Anansi Krom, which happened where the current arts center is.
Okay.
Okay, near the Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park. That was a venue that was regularly used for competition among student bands, because you had the likes of the Infanspim School had theirs, Adisado had theirs, Achimota had theirs, St. John's, St. Takrady also had theirs. You had Swedru Business School also had their bands. So what happened is, as a result of the culture we had in school about creating music, trying to play the best songs, entertain your colleagues, the word spread around many schools all over Ghana, Kumasi, Accra, everything. So there was a sudden realization that this is a very popular student event, and Anansi Krom basically was birthed.
Okay.
And that's how the pop chain thing kicked off.
Wow.
And ran for so many years, and I think up until the early to mid 80s, and then virtually it died down. So the competition has always been there.
Whoa.
Now, let me lead you into probably an area that we are bound to talk about. Okay. Because you ask yourself, if this has all been there, what's happening now? Here's the issue. We came from an era where you went to school for 5 or 7 years. So if you had some interest in music, or you even have acquired a skill before you came to Form 1, you had a structure in the school that allowed you to build on it. You had music teachers who could teach you the craft of how to read and understand music.
Wow.
So you come to Form 1, let's say you already have guitar playing skills. You have school bands there. It gives you the opportunity to further develop your skill set. So by the time you get to Form 5 or Upper 6, you're a pretty well seasoned musician. And to give you an example, Besser Simons crafted his skill on keyboards in Agri Memorial.
Okay.
He was a keyboardist for Vox International.
Wow.
Ben Brackon
Yeah.
came in from St. Augustine's. The famous, I think they were called the Famous Flames.
Okay.
Then David Ampofu was actually the lead vocalist.
The broadcaster?
St. John's, yes.
The broadcaster?
Yes.
David Ampofu.
Yeah.
Yes.
Channel.
One
wow.
of the greatest voices we ever heard in that era.
Wow.
And he graced one of our pop chain events. I think Pop Chain 3 that we had at 233 a few years ago. So that it has always been there. The difference now is the youngsters are going to school for a maximum of 18 to 2 months, 18 months to 2 years. Coupled with the fact that most of the schools, if you go now, the instruments that we used to have, the keyboards, the drums, and all that, most of them are either in poor states or non-existent. So getting into school to craft that over a period of time is probably a little bit more challenging than it was in our time. So when I hear some of the initiatives that you've just talked about with the callers on the phone,
Yes.
it's very, very refreshing. The big question now is, what do we do with it? You create all this, you identify talent. What next? Because I think it was Gideon who said there has always been a focus on the science, the science, engineering, and all that, and sometimes to the neglect of arts.
Yeah.
And he's quite right on that. You see, traditionally as a nation, for many, many years, it was the wish of almost every parent, you have to be an engineer, a doctor, an architect, and all that. If you say you want to play music, school fees, a band. So you see, we didn't
concerts.
Yes, we didn't place a lot of emphasis on the creative arts.
Yeah.
Or somebody who had artistic skills. It was felt that now, if some people consider it a disappointment. Look, I've spent all this school fees and you're going to be a painter. So sometimes we kill some of the natural talent because not everybody was born to be a doctor.
True.
Not everyone was born to be an engineer. They may have been born to be one of the greatest musicians. Obo, who we all know too well, went to Infantry School.
Yeah.
So I think the initiatives that you're talking about along the lines of how do we create SHS music festivals, identify talent, is very, very welcome. We did Pop Chain for 6 years.
Yeah.
At 233.
So that's the new era of Pop Chain, right?
No, that was the old era of Pop Chain in the sense that up until we started in 2015.
Yeah.
Up until 2020, most of the bands that came to, in fact, all the bands that came to, with the exception of 2 schools, were old students from that era, the 70s era. It was not the current generation.
It wasn't.
Not at all. It was the older generation. So guys who were literally in their 60s, 70s came to play. Because it was targeted at an audience who understood what the Pop Chain concept was about back in the days when we had Anansi Chrome.
Oh, yeah.
However, most of these guys we're all aging, and we're getting to a point where now literally we are no longer interested in going to stand on stage and play instruments unless you are actually a professional musician.
Yeah.
So question then comes in, if you want to take Pop Chain or reinvigorate it to the next level, where are the next generation of secondary school musicians coming from to feed into that?
Exactly.
Into that. So everything you've talked about as a premise to the discussion we're going to have is very, very valid.
Great.
The question now is, how do we identify that talent?
Sure.
And then how do we nurture them
Great.
to be able to become the musicians of tomorrow?
Thank you. Billy, I'll come back to you. Let me go to Uncle Ken. I know Uncle Ken was also involved in the Pop Chain. Anytime I heard Pop Chain, I heard your name.
He's always been there. Both of us, we've always been there.
Yeah.
When was the last time we had a Pop Chain
Last
concert?
year.
Oh, just last year.
Yes.
How did I miss it? Because I'm young.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, yes, small boy.
It's not been your
It's not been your 40.
your 40. So I'm
Uncle
not
Ken, how are
surprised.
you roping the younger ones
Yes.
into this?
Bilay has given you the background
Yes, please,
to
yeah.
what we did in the past, and I don't want
Yeah.
to go back there.
Sure.
I want to, concentrate on what's happening
Okay.
today.
Okay.
You
Okay.
know,
All right.
with this initiative by the Central Region
And then Ashanti region.
and
Ashanti
Ashanti
And
region.
then University of Ghana too.
And of course,
Yes.
the University of Ghana have always been there.
Yeah.
Nurturing people in the performing arts and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I like the idea, and particularly that of the Central Region.
Okay.
I particularly like that of the Central Region because they claim that this is a platform for students to showcase their strengths in the performing arts.
Yeah.
You know. So the festival that they organized was supposed to be featuring high school bands and musicians performing in categories like dance band. Check this out. He
Okay.
said dance band,
Yeah.
regimental band,
Okay.
and brass band,
Okay.
focusing on traditional and popular Ghanaian music. Now, I like this because this means that the people who are going to be performing will be playing instruments.
Yes.
Yep.
Because you can't go and prance about a stage like a praying mantis on playback.
Thank you.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Sure.
If you're going to be playing dance band music. Dance band music involves people playing guitars,
Instruments.
you know, all the various instruments coming together to make music. You see, Kwame, I've always told people that if you grew up in our era, you'll have grown up in an era where it was people playing instruments who made music,
Absolutely.
nothing else.
Before computers, it was all
Yeah,
live.
people playing
all
instruments that made music. That's how we grew up. So me, if I'm listening to music today, I'm looking out for instruments. People playing guitars, people playing trombones, people playing trumpet, saxophones, drums. I'm not looking for beats. Unfortunately, I am not looking for beats. I like beats if I want to go out and dance at a nightclub, places like that, or at a party where it's just straight music to make you dance. Then I can understand that. But if I want to listen to music for pleasure, I want to listen to people playing instruments and making music together. So that is why I like this initiative by the Central Region Directorate,
Yeah.
you know, because you realize that with those places, people play instruments. When we
But and
had,
the Ashanti region also follows the same model.
yeah, but the Ashanti region also said something.
Okay.
Let me tell you what the Ashanti region said, why I chose the Central. The Ashanti region said,
Yvonne will be mad at you.
oh, no. The Ashanti region were good, but they were not specific about what the musician could do.
But I watched, and they also
And-
did the
and-
various forms of music.
Yes, and they had musicians coming on stage to just sing or rap. Did they not?
They did that.
Yes. And I'm not against that. That's why I'm saying I prefer the Central Region because they are looking for people playing instruments.
Yeah, but,
But they both looked for people playing instruments. They also
Yes.
played instruments in the Ashanti region.
The Ashanti region also looked for that.
Yeah.
I agree. But I'm saying that Central was specific.
Okay.
yeah, it's very possible that she didn't give the full
The
explanation,
full
Yes.
explanation.
of what,
Okay,
what
maybe
they
she
did.
didn't.
But
I didn't watch.
But
Yeah.
from my point, okay, I watched the videos.
Okay.
And I saw the various forms that the Central region also performed. So I think
And
fall in line.
the Ashanti region also had people playing instruments.
yes,
Okay,
they did.
good.
They did.
Yeah.
The students played the musical instruments.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like that. When we were doing the pop chain,
Yeah.
we invited students from, say, John Tay Memorial Institute.
Yep.
Now, John Tay School is a school where the people who go there learn their music
Yeah.
and they play instruments. So, in our earlier pop chain events, we invited students from John Tay.
Yep.
They
At
came to
Adisado.
perform. We invited students from Adisado College. They
Then-
came to
then-
perform.
then Martin
we
Luther.
invited students from the Martin Luther
School.
School. They came and blew our minds.
Yeah.
We're playing instruments.
No, I mean,
But
yes.
Bilay made a point which is critical.
Yeah.
My worry is that these students today, when they get into these institutions, do not stay there for a long period.
Period.
2, 3, 4 years, and they're out.
Not even that.
Not even
They're
that.
going, hey,
Right?
they're
They're
going
out.
20
So,
months, they're out.
At every given time, you need to nurture new people.
That's correct.
So you do not get the full benefit of the student before he leaves school. And when he leaves school, what happens? Today in our country, Ghana, I'm happy to say that I think it was Gideon who made the point that today live music is coming back. You made that
live
point.
band.
Yes. And I'm happy for that because this is the only place where these students can showcase their talents when they are able to play live at venues, Kwame.
Yeah.
So I like this idea, and apparently the curriculum is being changed to include creative arts
the senior high school
in the
music.
senior high schools where people will play instruments, and I hope it carries on.
Yeah,
because it is important. If we do not get people playing instruments, and everybody is going to just sit behind a computer to create beats
Now we use AI.
or use AI
Yeah.
to create music,
Yeah.
then I don't know what people like.
But that's where we are now.
Yeah, but you see,
You know what I'm saying?
Kwame.
Where you are heading to?
yeah, you see, Kwame.
Because are you going to get enough people to be able to train? And do
Maybe the
things that
best
they
thing
do?
to do is to apply the knowledge you have in playing the live instruments.
Because live
through
instruments-
AI.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Let me.
This is very controversial.
Yeah,
This is
look, this is a topic that we could talk on for,
Yes,
talk
so
on for a lot of time.
Quickly, then I come to Doctor.
Yeah, let me just lay an analogy,
Yeah.
which I think we may need to deploy in developing the young SHS musicians.
Yeah.
When I was in school, I was a school athlete, and so were many others in various schools. Intercor, the world, right? It actually helped you to develop your talent for certain sports discipline.
Yeah.
We used to have a system where down the best athletes from those schools went into the Ghana Academicals. The Academicals was a structure that allowed you to develop your athletic skills, getting ready to hopefully enter the national team. That's the process that I went through.
Okay.
Now, let's bring that analogy to the
Music.
The music at school. We put on all these events, whether it's Ashanti region, whichever region, and we identify certain talents. Because the result has not got to be just to award a prize because you won. The objective has got to be is once we identify the talent, whether you were first, second, or third, how then do we nurture them, so long as the interest is there, to be the musicians of tomorrow? That structure for me is not there. So you see students come, they perform,
They go.
they're gone. And once they're gone, sometimes they're gone forever. Then you have to go back and reinvent the wheel and start again. We're not building.
Let me go to Dr. Amakye. He is an educationist. He is the head of music department at the University of Ghana. What is the current situation of music education, for example, at the senior high school level, if you have any idea? You are at the university, but I don't know if you have any idea of the senior high school level and music education at that level.
At the senior high level, during our days, there were lots of schools.
Yeah.
Many schools did music for exams.
Yeah.
But currently, you don't have that in every school. You just have a few schools that are interested.
But the new curriculum has that. I think that was 2020.
That's what they're claiming.
Yeah. I have seen the curriculum. Somebody
You have?
said, a
Okay.
teacher sent that to me from the senior high school. So they have music as an elective course.
With
In-
instruments in the school?
You do the theory
you're
and
supposed to.
practicals.
Are you
Yes.
sure there are instruments in the school?
I don't know.
Well, some
No.
do, some don't.
They're supposed to be.
Yes, some do, some don't.
Yeah.
Yes.
So as
Bilay.
Billy
Yeah.
said,
Yeah.
some of these students have to stay in school for just 20,
Yeah.
20 months.
20 months. And so it's so difficult to
period.
pick an instrument to
Mm.
learn
Yeah.
all over. So they pick the simple ones.
Yep.
for instance, the exams in exam WAEC exams will
Yeah.
let you do either the atentebeng or your voice.
Okay.
Something that you can easily do within the space of the time that you are schooling in, you are having the music exams.
Yeah.
So it's difficult to pick up instruments, Western instruments, for instance, like the pop band and all that we are talking about. So it's just recently that we have a few more schools joining music education
Okay.
at the SHS level.
Okay.
To the extent that when they come to the university where I am, some of them come with raw talent. They've never even done music before.
They don't know do.
They don't know where.
Or Ray.
Oh yes, they don't know anything in music.
Okay.
And so sometimes it's a disadvantage for them because some people have already done SHS music and they have to be in the same class. And so sometimes we have to water down a little to pull everybody along.
Wow.
So that they can all finish early. But let me say that over the years, our graduates have gone. Some of them have gone out to form their own bands. You see, like
Alright.
the Adaha band, for instance. If
Yeah.
you know
Okay.
about them, yes.
They were students from your.
They were
Okay,
our
Adaha,
students.
okay.
Adaha
In
were our
Chinchim.
students. In Chinchim was where they were our
Very good
students.
bands.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we have Kwampa also.
Yes.
Coming
Yeah.
out from.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
the
Esan Cancer, a product of, and then the Legon Pamwan band.
Legon Pamoine
Pamoine,
band
yeah.
is also there.
Yeah.
So what we do in terms of pop music is that we try to equip the students so that when they go out, they can create their own, they can form their own band. And some of the bands actually started in school, while they were in school. So when they completed, they could just come together and continue with their performances. So
Yeah, Doc, apart from they going out to continue with the music trade, what does music do to the student psychologically? Music education.
music is very important. You remember in school, primary school and all, there are some of the difficult science words that we couldn't memorize. We put it in music and you easily get it.
Yeah.
You can easily sing some songs and then, so psychologically, it's healing for you. You are able to concentrate in your studies. Now, let me bring our mind to something that happens in some European countries.
Okay.
I know that for the children in nursery or creche,
Okay.
music is compulsory.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you study music from beginning till you get to the university level, and it is something which is compulsory. The idea is not for everybody to be a musician.
Good.
The idea is to create audience for music, so that once we go on in our studies as students, some drop along the line, and those people who drop will attend the concert halls because they appreciate music. They know what has gone on. They know what goes in music education and all. And so if we bring up some policies like that in our country, I think it will help us very, very well when we are able to nurture from the beginning to the end. And what they do is that they even teach music based on folk tunes. Every country has an identity, and this
Yeah.
identity is rooted in folk tunes.
All right.
And every tribe, like for instance in Ghana we have several tribes, and every tribe has its own folk tune. So imagine a child of school-going age learning something from his background or her background. One, you are giving the child an identity. Two, based on what he knows, you are using it to give him some musical education. When he sings the two Bob, you say this one is a crotchet, this one is a quaver, and then based on that, you are able to introduce the child into more serious music education. And the
But here we are. We don't have enough music teachers in even our basic schools. Those who are well versed in music in our basic schools.
It's because of
Technology.
But you see,
Okay.
but you see, Kwame.
Yes.
Here's the thing. It used to be there
Okay.
when I was in association school.
Yeah.
From class 4 to 7, I had to do music.
Yeah, that is not a public school.
I hear what you say, but the point I'm making is there are opportunities.
Yes.
There are people who want. You see, here's the thing: the whole question of technology, right, has, in a lot of ways, taken over what we call, for want of a better phrase, traditional music. The consequence of that is we have a current generation of musicians who can't even read a musical note
At all. At all.
And I've always said, if you cannot read music or you don't know how to structure music, you are not as accomplished a musician
You're an
as
artist.
you could
Maybe
be.
you're an artist, not a musician.
You're a performing artist. People put songs. I mean, listen to most of our current generation of music, the Afrobeats and all that. I would say 90% of the songs that they put out don't even have chord changes. They don't have chord changes. Go and listen to the likes of CK Man. You listen to even our belated Daddy Lumba, Amakye, they did all those guys. Listen to their songs. You'll find that there is a structure. There's a melody. There are chord changes. They know where there's a reprise. It's all in there. But technology has made it so easy for people to become superstars that you go in F10, control F6, you got a beat and off you go. Now, the sad thing is when you put those people onto a live stage to perform, a lot of them are performing to studio beats that are played in the background. You don't see a lot of them who actually come in with full bands and actually entertain the crowd to a live performance.
Because that's not the way their music is structured.
Exactly.
Sure.
That's not the
So
way
how
the
do you
music-
expect them to do that?
Sure.
Yeah, but say that.
That you see what you are saying will infuriate Kwame
No, but that's a fact.
because you see Sadiq will tell you that Uncle Ken, this is a generational
Thing. The day we did AI here.
The way
Kojo
you
Akoto
did,
composed music
yes.
with AI right here in the
yes,
studio.
in the studio.
Yes,
and
you remember.
was it last week or a couple of weeks ago that you had your show?
The
on
music lab.
The music lab.
Yes.
And someone said that with Shatawale's
Tawali's Street Crown.
Street Crown,
Yeah.
he would have loved him to do that with an orchestra.
Yes. You beat said that.
You said that.
Yes.
And I was listening and I said, that's it, man. Because with an orchestra, you'd have had the full surround sound to make it sound the way it should sound.
Yeah, but
Today, we don't have that, Kwame. So, I don't want to get into this because Sadiq has warned me that
Ken.
I am of a different generation. And so I should leave. And you too, you said that to me once.
Oh,
Kwame said that
we
to
can
me once. He
we
said,
can marry the two.
You see, Ken, for me, I say what
Yeah.
I'm suggesting is there are opportunities for even the current generation to include more of the arrangement, chord changes that in their
Exactly.
music to create something that's going
but
to
they are
last.
not ready for that. It will
You
waste
think
their
so?
time. It will cost too much money, they tell you. It will cost too much money employing people who play instruments to come to the studio with you.
Yeah, but
and all that.
Yeah, but
I think we should talk about this some other time. Let's talk about this some other time because I want us to go to Gideon. Gideon has a voice in government.
yeah.
So if we're talking about a national senior high school music competition, I think when you go to your meetings, we don't have the education minister right here, but you have a voice there, so you can talk some give we.
You see, I'm happy. I'm happy that it's been incorporated into the current curriculum.
Yes.
Yeah, because I recall vividly that growing up, the early 70s, during our elementary.
Early 70s.
Yes.
How old were you?
How do you think I am?
You said you were nearing 60.
Yes.
And
Yes.
you're talking about early
I'm
70s.
just 3 years. I'm just 3
intrigued.
years short of 60.
I'm just intrigued.
So it tells you that in the 70s I know a lot.
I'm
Yes,
intrigued.
at least I was there before Rollins came the first time. Yes, and I partook in a lot of things that they came to do. So
Yeah.
but basically, I mean, in our time, we had what we called music competitions, singing competitions
Yeah.
in the basic schools.
Yeah.
we call them the elementary schools, from class 1 up to Form 4. I sat common entrance in Form 2. Now, these singing competitions were there to unearth talents. Now, where I went to school in Kufroidia, there was one school dominating all the time. They always won because of their style.
Which school was that?
The Zion School.
Okay.
Yes. And these
Kwame
were
is from Koforia.
yeah, and these were public schools.
Yeah.
Music then was compulsory. Yes. Music was compulsory, and in the secondary schools, wherever you went, there are always music and art studios. Music was compulsory wherever you went, such that you take it seriously, and the opportunities that it would create for you. Currently, even in our various, one of the things we're trying to do is to bring back the various bands in the ministries, the agencies,
Like the police band.
the police band.
army
Yeah,
band.
there's a word I've forgotten. Yeah, but we're trying to bring back those bands. Yes, the various services have been able to sustain theirs. They have the reason for that, for having those bands in there. But then people get in there, and when there's an intake, the way people get in there, not through the normal qualification, but then if you can, and you see, even in sports, those who were not academically inclined were able to get into secondary schools by virtue of their sporting abilities.
Exactly. Yeah.
To the extent that they even continue to the tertiary schools elsewhere abroad.
Some
and
got
they-
scholarships.
Yes, scholarships.
Abroad. Yeah.
This is what music did for us. You see, my worry, the AI thing is fine. It's a generational thing. I mean, this is where we are now.
Yeah.
But then look, if you went to Europe, for example, you go and buy, you expect to pay to a tailor. The person must attend to you and everything. That's a job created there. These days, you would have to go and swipe your card and do with payment, everything. But in a particular shopping mall, you would not even find one person attending to you.
Yeah.
Everything is done. So where's that kind of employment going to? You see, in our quest to develop, we must also look at, empowering people, creating jobs, because eventually you find that one thing. You see, there used to be the Ganata College of Art.
Yeah.
There used to
Where
be.
is it now?
Where is it now?
They're gone.
Where is it now? And the talents that they brought out. Look,
Of artists, yeah.
the talents that we have here, when you go elsewhere and there's some museum or something, and there's or a gallery and some artwork are displayed, and you look at those ones that they cherish, you see, there are a lot more people here with raw talents who could do better. And those ones very pricey, so expensive. You see, so this is what Creative Arts, for example, would want to do. Yes, we'll be creating competitions.
Okay.
And create the talents, unearth the talents, and let them go out there and project their work there and benefit from their work. You see, once people see, or the contemporaries here see, the kind of benefit they have accrued from what they have been able to do, it would encourage a lot more people here to start from the basics. Look, from when we were in secondary schools, for example, we had a Greek as a subject. Almost every school was doing a Greek.
Yeah.
That's school farm.
School farm.
We had it.
And it was one of those subjects, or one of
Who
those.
benefited from the school farm?
We all benefited.
We all benefited.
Oh, was the teachers.
You see, it was one of those that we were dodging.
Internal.
One of those subjects that students were dodging.
IGF.
You see, the school that I attended, we weren't going for a Greek. And those that were doing that Greek were always laughing at them. And yet, they would come back from the farms to come and feed us with cassava, yam, and whatnots. And even when they were doing poultry, they would come and still do it. It was illegal to be cooking, but these are some of the things that we would always get away with. You understand? These people, most of them have won national best farmer awards. And they're so rich. And those of us who were laughing at them, where are we now? You see, now it's no more widespread like it used to be. You would have to identify schools that would do a Greek. You see, meanwhile, it is something that is, as a policy, I mean, it could be done by any school.
Okay.
And so you do not have to go and compete, like 10 people go and compete for one school to be able to go there because you want to do a Greek. There are options for you.
Okay.
So I'm very elated that this has become a national policy. Those things that we neglected, bring them back. You know, there used to be something we called worship.
Yeah.
Every Thursday. You know what it does to us?
They still do.
You see, the discipline it inculcates in us.
Yeah.
It shapes us. It lets us keep our traditional norms. You know, the values that we attach to ourselves. So you see, earlier, teachers will teach you. They're not just teaching you the subject, they're teaching you even how to pronounce in the course of the subject. You see, yeah, these days, some of our teachers do not even speak well. You see, look, we are surrounded by French countries. How many of us speak French? And some of us have lost opportunities because we cannot speak French. They say that even the fishes in the sea speak French. What excuse do we have that we have Burkina Faso, Togo, and Cote d'Ivoire all surrounding us, and we cannot speak French?
Yep. Kwame,
Yes.
you know what? Music and musicians. If you are good at what you do, you will forever have an avenue to make money. As we speak today, musicians in the States, in the UK, aged 80, 85, 90 plus are still touring. Playing to audiences and making money.
And live.
And to
Oh,
recently,
And they play live.
and to recently, Ebo Taylor was touring. I think he did his last
it
tour
was
recently.
touring. Yeah. Look, 3 ladies got together. Divas of the 70s. Gladys Knight, Shaka Khan, Patti LaBelle. 3 ladies.
Total sellout.
And I am telling you that they are selling out across the country. So we should encourage these youngsters to
Great.
play music.
Great.
Learn it is important you learn the trade and learn it well.
Bottom
Awesome.
line, we have to start from the basics.
Yes,
Exactly.
Absolutely. And
Encourage,
go
yeah,
yes.
we have to
And
start
go
from basics,
distractions.
start from basic school, encourage it. They will take it to, you see, we do not even have an excuse for the current, kind of education that we have, where you have to spend very little time in school because it's a continuation.
Yeah.
It's a continuation if you looked at it. The basic level up to a point, and then you continue with the secondary. It's virtually a continuation.
Yeah.
Unlike the previous one. I think the only difference is when the elementary school was up to Form 4.
Yeah.
But even at the time, some of us could sit
All
from
right.
one entrance at class 6 and
Yeah.
4.
So, yep.
Yes, and so the basic, that thing has to be there.
Great.
Let it be at the basics. They will learn it. They will take it there.
Doctor, what do we do to move this agenda to government to organize a national senior high school music festival?
No, let me answer that. You see, doctor can have an idea of moving it.
So
to
he should
government,
he should mention his idea, then you come in.
Or what does he think we need?
Yes. What should we do?
Well, the first thing we need to know that
Yeah.
the children or the high school children of high school going age
Yeah.
are our future.
Yes.
And if we don't invest in them now, tomorrow they are going to do some other music that we may not have sanctioned.
Yeah.
And so when we know that they are the future of the country, then we start investing in them from
the beginning.
From the beginning.
Okay.
If we
they think
have
so
a
themselves?
certain policy that every child of school-going age must do a musical instrument, or it could be a traditional
And they
instrument
should
or
get
something.
enough teachers who are well versed in music to go to the public schools because it's a challenge. And I'm
Yeah.
saying this, I always say this because I was once a teacher. Okay, I was teaching music, not music alone, but because I studied music at the training college, so I was able to teach
Kopong Training College.
you. And when you took just a circuit of about 14 schools, you would find just maybe one teacher who can teach music in the whole circuit, and it is very, very bad. So before we go, I think 1 minute each, and then Gideon will wrap up for us because government, we want to hear from you. So let me do Uncle Ken.
Yeah, Kwame, it's serious.
Yeah.
My only problem now is if you are asking a youngster of today to go into school to study an instrument and play music or read music, and he sits at home, goes on the internet and sees his idols making music from home on a computer and making millions of money. He sits back and he will ask himself, but why should I have to go through all this? And when I am done, what am I going to get out of it when this person is telling me that he sits in his home studio?
It's making 10,000 a month.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's a difficult thing
It's a very difficult thing,
for them.
Yeah. Bilay.
Yeah, I mean, to answer the question as to why Ghana needs a national SHS Music Festival, I think it's important that, first of all, as a nation, we have a musical culture we call high life.
Yes.
Some of you now will prefer, the modern generation will probably say it's hip life. Whatever it is, we have a certain musical history. That musical history was born out of people who could read music, play music, entertain people with music. It's very important that the youngsters of today are hopefully going to be, or some are going to be the musicians of tomorrow.
All right.
So we need to make sure that we can create the platforms where they can showcase their talent.
Yeah.
And then how do we nurture them to become the musicians of tomorrow?
Okay.
And I think that is probably maybe where some of the suggestions that Gideon was making can help to leverage that.
Yeah. Okay. Doc, do you want to add something to it? Maybe 1 minute. Then I come to take another 1 minute from Gideon. Okay.
Yeah. So this is very important. It's an important thing that we should have a national music SHS festival, because I know there are several talents out there and there are no platforms for them to showcase what they are made up of. So this is a call in the right direction.
Great.
And I hope that the government listens to us.
Thank you very much. Gideon, this one, you don't beat me. 1 minute.
Okay, so I think that
the newspeople are here.
in a very concise form, I think right from the basics, it has to be a matter of a national policy, irrespective of which government is in power.
I love that.
If it's not already in the constitution, then it has to be. Find a way of reviewing the, as they're going to review. Bring it in there. Make it an entrenched policy, saying that no government can touch it. Yes, so that at least it would keep on with our culture and normal traditional values.
Thank you very much. It's been great having all of you on Showbiz A-Z, Joe 99.7 FM. Thank you, Gideon Ayikwe, Uncle Ken, Bilay, Dr. Amakye, Yvonne, and Alberta. My name is Kwame Dadzie. This show was produced by Philip Nye, supported by Anita Te, Olivier Fagnon. And the show was brought to you by MTN Everywhere You Go and Superstar Multi-Food Drink. We're back next week.